All right, boys, we're here for week 4 review. We got a special guest. We got our new Austin, Mr. Spooky Host 2.0 himself.
Howdy. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course, man. I'm glad you could come on here, get some insight into your game, how you approached your team building, stuff like that. But we'll get to yours. First up, we had Tyler and Mez. I believe were both 3-1 going into this week, or both two and one. Think we're
Still a
both
pretty big match.
both 2-1, so pretty big match shaping up for those higher seeds in the playoffs. I feel like Mez has some decent answers for the threat Darmanitan, Incineroar. I guess he does have like bulldoze or that he could use or earthquake, but then he takes the life orb damage. The Whimsicott could be tricky to deal with, but no normal resist on this one means Xcloud just kind of comes in and press boom burst.
Yeah, that's the first thing I'm seeing here is he could come out the gate like really fast with Darmanitan or X-Cloud and maybe get Mez on the back foot. Um, and then you also got to be scared about the Rev setting up at some point soon once he's got the momentum. And then Prankster Wimiscott could just really mess him up with some of those, tailwinds or thunder waves or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no steel type on potential gunk shot is always a threat, but then you do have to worry about that. Man, that's why I like Archaludon, because you dodge the gunk shot and then you're only neutral to temper flare if he goes for it.
Yeah, I mean that's great typing.
All
It's
right.
also interesting to see on the other side the Ludicolo without like a rain dance setter, like without a Pelipper or something like that.
Oh, when we were doing the board, somebody had asked about Pelipper. Like Ninetales was in here, and Pelipper and Torkoal weren't. And I'm like, yeah, there's a reason that they're not in low tier. Pelipper would reasonably be the first pick
Yeah,
almost every time.
easy.
That thing's way too good.
Yeah.
But let's get in. Let's see how we start off. So the Delmise into Incineroar, already not what you want to see.
No, that's like worst possible scenario maybe.
You get
That's like a double type disadvantage.
Oh, it is. You get intimidated. You got no attack. So you're immediately the exact opposite of what we said would happen has happened.
Started out slow and kind of chunky. I don't know what he's running on this. What does Delmise get? Like rapid spin?
He's been
And then
going, I
like
think, like Rapid Spin, SD, Anchor Shot, Seed Bomb stuff. Like has been the de facto set. The
yeah.
last week was Poltergeist, Anchor, Grass Knot, and Rapid Spin. Grass Knot's interesting. I wonder what took that for. The
Yeah.
Yeah, straight good swap
That's
to
what you got to
Aloe.
do. But then you lose your leftovers and you get regenerator, who cares?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You wish switch out, take nothing. I kind of think
What's
I
he
would have. Could he have done there?
I'm trying to figure out what he's trying to accomplish with Delmise here.
I think he just wants this mod to work.
He just wants
I
he's
th-
just trying to make that.
I think this is his matter of pride this season. He's got the Darmanitan as like the hard carry.
Yeah.
But the Delmise is like what he really wants to be his mon. It's so bad.
It's bad, but you got to respect that kind of dedication. Let
Yep,
me
and
look
then you
that
just
up.
go right back in and a choice scarfed Incineroar. That's interesting.
Well, he's got the power and a little bit of bulk to make it through a hit or two, and then intimidate. You could get going on somebody who's a primary physical attacker and really tear some holes through the team so that somebody in the back could set up and maybe that Scolipede could go to town.
Yeah, I guess he likes the matchup too of between like if you're Flare Blitz knockoff and he got CC recently, I believe. So he doesn't have CC, but it's Flare Blitz, EQ, knockoff, and parting shot. But I guess like overall, you kind of like that if you with your scarf, if you outspeed everything, you just kind of come in, start pressing buttons, see where
Yeah.
it takes you.
Yep. A little bit of momentum,
That's
and
good.
yeah, you got to get out of there.
Unfortunate. Then you just oh,
Yeah,
you
that's
turn
good
out.
coverage.
No,
Sets up the trick room, but there's some slow Pokemon on Mez's side that could take advantage of that.
well
Like
that's
Hydrapple's not running speed.
like Claydol likes it. Hydrapple's good. Incineroar. This is like the one
Hates
week
it.
in the world that Incineroar would not that doesn't like Trick Room,
Yeah.
and I'm very surprised that he lived that.
Yeah.
Get one
Oh,
more.
well, if he didn't spec speed because he wanted to do Trick Room, he probably spec'd HP. So I need to check that though.
What is max HP, max defense on Ludicolo? The X Cloud is max speed, max special attack.
Okay. All
Oh,
right. These is
yeah.
all right.
What item did he have? Wide lens. I guess for focus blast. U turn. I'm surprised. Oh well, I guess I'm
Yeah,
not
no.
surprised. This thing with life orb.
Yeah, it's classic.
I'm sorry, I just had a double back. He took wide lens just for focus blast.
That's pretty bold considering it's only like 77% with wide lens.
At that point, you might as well just sack the damage if you're gonna go Terra Fighting and go Terra Blast and to take an actual item.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I mean, I get it. Like, it's frustrating to miss focus blast, but like, just don't pick it. Figure something else
Yeah,
out.
10%'s nothing. So we're gonna see him get momentum. So he's gonna have the prankster again. I think at this point, do you just let it die? Oh, he doesn't go for.
He didn't go for a thunder, or I guess like a stun spore or anything like that. I guess he's trying to moon blast.
Yeah.
I gotta pull, I gotta pull the cards up. Honestly,
Yeah, Trick Room, Moonblast, U-turn, and Taunt. Taunt would have done nothing. I guess he's just figure sack it off at this point. I still think you go Aloe there.
yeah. I mean, every time into Incineroar because what he hits you with like a knockoff, and then
You've already lost it.
you yeah, and then you switch back out and in again because he Incineroar doesn't want to take a flip turn or and he also doesn't want to give you the opportunity to set up like a wish or something and heal something up.
He does have Scald and Toxic, other than Scolipede, would be free, so that would be good to get down as well. Oh, and speak of the devil.
That's definitely
Yes.
bad on your primary tank.
Yes. He's learned to play the Aloe. Should have wished once. But I don't know if you would have lived that, honestly. That's a good switch. Keep let the. Alright.
That was a bold choice considering you're toxic like a couple turns in.
The Regenerator.
Yeah,
He
ooh,
is. So I guess Scout and then just switch. Nope.
stays in.
They just die.
Is he like afraid? There's no way he's afraid of this Delmise, but maybe he wants to keep his Incineroar alive with the scarf.
I've only seen Polt. Yeah. I wonder if
I
he's
mean,
just afraid of like this sweeping and he thinks that Incineroar is the answer.
he needs the speed. Although,
Or the
so
Intimidate even. Like if it comes down to Darmanitan and last, you at least have Intimidate to like reduce his attack by one.
yeah, I mean, it goes pretty. It does a pretty good job once the Loma is gone,
Even still, I
especially if you've got other stuff to sack.
feel like Scolipede just cleans up in the end game. Does he have SD on it? Because if you have SD, he
Yeah,
doesn't. I was gonna say if he's SD, you kind of just SD and run through between Earthquake and Poison Jab. Everything dies.
yeah, Loma might take a second, but it'll get there.
Nothing. Oh, this is the AV. That's right.
There's
And
the Intimidate. That's not going to be useful anymore.
I forgot. Delmise is the other Pokemon that can have 4 stab moves. It's Delmise and Bombardier because he has Steelworker, so he has Grass
Oh,
Ghost and Steel
right.
type. Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of fun. And I mean, that attack stat's pretty crazy. It's like 131 base. I was just looking up. So you can get some work done.
Oh, he's for sure really cool, especially like Trick Room. I appreciate him going for that. We're gonna see him just stall Toxic out here, but I appreciate him taking that Mon. That's always been a Mon that was cool and just never ever ever got used. So if someone just played,
Yeah, saw the result.
this
Wish
is
stalling out the toxic.
this
This
is
is
just bullying. This is so
yeah.
rude.
Yeah, this thing's just gonna heal up, and then you gotta figure something out with two physical attackers against an Aloma Mola. Just forget about it.
And that I don't know if he was just going for most damage or if that was an actual read, but that was crazy.
Yeah, that's that's the number one pick. That I mean, He's doing fine. A low Momola in the back. Um, Air balloon on this, so it's gonna take a turn. Yep, and that
Okay,
might be enough to get up a shift gear or no.
nice.
And then what are you gonna do?
Oh, he's
And then
life orb. You can just stall him.
yep,
Does he wish?
yep. And he can just
Protect
he's
once.
locked in.
Doesn't even protect. Okay, this is just rude.
Yeah,
Just scald the man, please.
yeah. And he's just gonna. Oh, there's a scald.
And he just.
Oh, no
Okay.
flip turn on this one.
Okay, Tyler.
Make him suffer. Well, a rough start, but he really pulled it together.
Yeah, he.
Uh,
Oh, that's all you, man.
oh no, I was gonna say, it just used the crap of that out of that Alomomola and took advantage of a lot of, I think, physical threats on the team. That I think were the primary kind of drivers on Mez's side.
Where did the Ludicolo die? Because once that died, I mean, he didn't really have anything to break it. Like he got rid of Ludi and Hydrapple both early enough that
Yeah,
no special attackers. Like I mean, I guess Claydol can be, but it's not enough of a threat that you're like scared of it. And then the rest of these three, like you sit on them forever and ever and ever.
yeah. I don't know if by the time Alomomola got off like a couple wish protects, I don't think Claydol can outdo that damage with Psychic unless like get really lucky with the special defense drops.
Calm mindset. Did he? Was he? No, he didn't have Grass Knot, and he was max special attack, so it might actually have been able to do something. But I don't know that it would have liked to eat a lot of scald damage. So that is game one.
Good, good 3-0 win. And the
Next up,
Bug Boys.
yep, the Bug Boys versus one of our OG Pokemon players, Kellen. Um, I'm still salty this man got stack attack. I really, really thought we sniped all the Ultra Beasts off the board. I can't believe we missed him. But
Oh yeah.
otherwise, I when I looked at this like before going to this, I'm like, yes, he has the Raquinid and Nidoqueen. I'm like, but if he can just get Chip on everything, if he's like Adamant Scarfed Entei, how does he not just win by like pressing Sacred Fire?
Yeah, I mean, you have to deal with that Araquanid first. Just with having the fire damage and having that good bulk naturally and such like it being such an answer, like I think you're great if you can figure that out first.
Oh, Raquinid was my goat last season.
Oh yeah,
That
I can
was
see why.
one of my two walls that just sat and sat and sat in front of people. That mon is frustrating.
Yeah.
Sticky web, toxic, leech life, scald, liquidation, chilling water, like is
You gotta toxic it with this team or get some kind of prediction on like a maybe a rock type move or I know this one isn't scarfed, but I think a scarfed Togekiss could have gone pretty nuts here with like a heat wave and an air slash.
oh
Uh,
for sure.
and a little bit of luck.
Get stealth rocks down early if you can.
Yep.
Man, Matt talks
You
all of
can.
that about how bad the bugs are. Literally, none of them are weak. Like what? Orbeetle and Araquanid are weak to rock type. The rest are neutral.
Yeah.
Or I guess Leevor is weak as well.
Yeah.
Just
It's really weird that rock doesn't resist rock.
uh, what did someone say? It's like, well, have you ever hit a rock with a rock? And I'm like, I can't really say that I recall off the top of my head. So stack attack elite, good.
Yeah, he's not gonna be able to do much damage against that unless he was packing like close
Well,
combat.
that's what I was gonna say. The balls on this man to stay in on Cleavor, who could have run close combat and just smoked him. Like, I don't think this guy was Sash on stack. He was not.
He's loaded dice.
That's
So
crazy.
I think uh I think people want to do the loaded dice on. It was what I wanted to do when I was playing Matt as well, because I was like, okay, if I don't kill Cleavor with a multi-hit move immediately, he's getting rocks up and doing big damage. So the instinct is to just go for it and do a big multi-hit move.
That's my goat, the Turtonator with the fire spin.
Did that crit matter?
Um, it. Let's find out. There's no sets for Turtonator because he's, well, Turtonator.
It's
Um,
Terminator.
252 modest into, what was that, Fortress? I seriously doubt it did. If it didn't kill it, there we
What
go.
else was it gonna do, even if it
Or
didn't die?
then it just gets trapped and probably dies to the actual fire spin itself.
Yeah.
Let's relax. So max HP. Max is that. No.
Fire spin. Okay, yeah, it was a roll.
70. No, not even. It only lost 71. This did
Oh,
85
that's right.
minimum.
Yeah, he was done.
So
That's wow.
his goose was indeed
Oh,
cooked.
put one on the board. Rolled Turtonator.
And just like that, like, that's so stupid. Oh, he is max
Yeah.
attack. He went banded. He finally did it.
I mean, it's great because things are gonna switch out on this, especially if your whole team's like built around with fire types trying to take down these bugs.
Like, even just looking at it, like, what wants to switch in on this team to that? Nothing can. Kogakus isn't
Absolutely
bulky
nothing.
enough. Donphan's weak. He's weak. He's neutral. He's weak. This has no defense.
Yeah, it's kind of like the perfect balance to Matt's team. I wouldn't be surprised if he brings it every dang week.
And when you see the Stone Edge hit and it only does that much,
Yeah, you're in for a bad time. You
you
gotta
know what
stack like,
you know what's about to happen.
yep.
And goodbye.
You gotta
So
you gotta stack like two mons.
yeah, he does get the air slash kill, but the moment that Entei died, I'm like, oh, this game's over. I don't think
Yeah,
he can come back from that unless he's packing some crazy heat on Turtonator.
you'd have to find a really good place to shell smash.
Yep,
But now you're gonna take 25% when you switch in, and that focus sash that he brought is not going to do what he wants unless he gets the rapid
he
spin
does
off.
get the spin, big crit,
And
good
there's the
rocks,
screens. Rock's really good against this team.
earthquake until the end of time. Ugh, yikes.
Yeah, gotta go for the middle play there, I think. The queen of the bugs. But does get off
Mash
the
it
shell
up.
smash. Unfortunately, there's two screens up.
It don't even
Oh,
matter. Big
the
crit.
crit!
I
Get
do.
out of here.
I want to check that one. That one I
That's
want to see.
amazing.
4 HP. That's
Wow.
all.
A lot of kind of fortunate crits.
Why do you have 0 speed IVs with max speed investment with the timid nature?
Especially with the focus sash, because I feel like the idea with the focus sash is you don't need bulk because you can live.
I mean, on the Nita Queen.
Oh,
The Nita Queen is 4 HP, 252, 252, but 0 IVs in speed.
yeah, that's
Flamethrower.
could be a mistake.
Flamethrower killed regardless. Oh, hold up. I don't have screens up. So, yeah, that did. The crit absolutely mattered.
Mm,
Just ignore the screens and just poke them.
nice. Big crit. He even said it.
Yeah.
U-turn, momentum, but now he's taking damage when he comes in. But what are you gonna do with the slow stack attacker?
This man missed a golden opportunity to name this thing Kevin. I just want to say that.
Just name it Kevin.
Yeah, I don't see. I didn't even know
Hustle.
superpower could miss. I thought that was 100 accuracy.
No, that's hustle. On Durant.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
part of the pain of Durant. I love that thing. It's fast. It's strong. It's got one weakness.
it's a pretty sleeper mon.
Yeah,
I think it's better than it gets credit for.
yeah. Probably underrated
I think
on the board.
it's also like hard for it to get time to shine when the other two bug steel types are Fortress, who's just a crazy wall, and Scizor, who is just goaded.
Yeah, they're like culturally and like through gameplay, just so well renowned and respected.
You have no priority on this thing really. What's your setup?
Hone claws.
Oh boy.
with Hustle.
Oh, that. Yo, don't be giving him ideas. I still gotta play him.
Matt, turn it off.
But another 3-0. We're having a trend here. People trying to get their
Yeah.
differentials back.
Alrighty, we've got this one's Noah and
This is the
is
other
that
Austin.
Austin?
Yes.
Other Austin, my arch rival.
Looking forward to
Um,
the big match in week 8. Winner is the new Austin 1.0.
oh wow, now I'm gonna start prepping for that right now. Um, all right, but looking at the match here, so we've got Oregon 2 has been going nuts. I think this might be the game where it goes really nuts.
It drives me crazy how good this thing has been doing. It really does.
You got to get that knockoff, but it's scary because it'll still ruin your team in the time you get the knockoff. And then like it's still fine without the Eviolite because it was good as a tank in like Gen 3 when there was an Eviolite.
It was Porygon 2 out then? I mean, Porygon Z? What gen did that come out?
Porygon Z was Gen 4.
Okay.
Porygon 2 was Gen 2.
Yeah, I knew those two, but I didn't remember if Z was 1 or 3 or 4. But yeah, that was them trying to buff all the old Pokemon. Um,
Yeah.
from Austin's perspective, in my eyes, if you can kill the Heracross, Empoleon is kind of hard for Noah to deal with. Like, adaptability Thunderbolt from Porygon ain't great,
Yep.
but like Heracross is your biggest threat. Flash Cannon and does all right against Dreadnought. It is neutral actually. Surf kills Colossal or Scald. Flash Cannon destroys Grimmsnarl and Shuckle.
I'm also looking at Mudsdale here with stamina and looking at some of the opposing members of the team. You don't want to get earthquaked setting up as Dreadnought. Um, Heracross, you're going to have to deal with the stamina boosts. Colossal, you don't want to take an earthquake. It feels like most of his offensive pieces, other than Porygon 2, really don't have to deal with Mudsdale.
Yeah, so just make sure you get it in safely and start beefing it up.
Yep.
Agility on Braviary, possibly. And I had talked to Austin. I think he was really doubling down on Trick Room coming this week, and it immediately doesn't look like it is. Like, it could potentially still, but it doesn't look like it.
No, I don't think so.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the Empoleon lead. Goes good into pretty much everything except the Heracross, so you're hedging your bets.
And I really hate Shuckle because it's one of those mons that it's just like, all right, I got Sticky Web down and I died. Cool, my job is done.
Yeah, I get it's low tier, so I mean, you won't be able to scoop up Galvantula or Ribombee, who could like Stun Spore or Thunderwave first. But it does feel like a waste in like a fast-paced draft league like that when a lot of people have a spinner prepared.
Feather Dance instead of like a defog or a flip turn, which I think is interesting.
Yeah,
Because this right here is a great turn to defog because this is prankster, right? Like what is it gonna do? Does it have?
it might set up screens. It might try and paralyze you, but if you're a chunky Empoleon, like
It's got no sucker punch and parting shot, reflect and light screen. So like you could literally
it is
he would
great for
screen,
you.
you defog.
Yeah, but I guess he's going for the direct approach. That's pretty nice. Maybe he was thinking about the parting shot.
That was really
Double
good.
competitive and gets over
Good.
50% through screens. He's reading them like a book. I think he's got him a little bit scared right now.
That doing 28% to a 4 times resist is crazy, by the way.
Heracross. I mean, there's a reason he's a top tier in this league, right?
Oh, for sure. That was without guts. Agility,
Um,
I don't really. I mean, I guess he figures he can't kill it, so just get out. And
yeah,
another freeze. This league is
that's
going
tough.
crazy with them.
That is tough. Why did he agility with that Braviary? I mean, what do you? So you're gonna get destroyed by Colossal. You're gonna get destroyed by I think Dreadnought can take it. You could get paralyzed by Grimmsnarl, and Porygon 2 can take what you're dishing out. The only thing you're really going to sweep with here is if you take out the Heracross. And that's not a sweep, that's a kill.
So I think he's just going for game at that point, trying to sheer force kill everything with either. I think Psychic's the only thing because he has D Gleam, which doesn't get proc by sheer force, and Vacuum Wave, which doesn't either.
Yeah,
So
that's
just going
interesting.
for Psychic swap, but then Psychic sweep, but then you have like, what are your answers still to Grimmsnarl? Like you have your Fairy move, but you're not killing it behind a light screen right away. Well, I guess maybe at 41 you are.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you could have gotten some momentum or something like that.
I would
Keep
have
him.
liked to see if he got frozen. Like that's cool if you want to just sack that thing, but I feel like you could have held on to that for a sack later, especially with Intimidate.
Yeah, it's
You could
got
have just
inherent use.
got Empoleon who 4 times resists Ice Beam,
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that idea better.
and then coming into this, I really don't like this coming out because
Gonna get ice beamed.
what do you got? You
Oh,
got Low
Thunder Wave.
Kick, which is going to do like 15%.
Well, I think the idea is to rapid spin to get some speed back.
Oh,
Uh, and I guess to also get rid of the Eviolite. I think it
there
was
we
smart to get out of there because you want that rapid spin for later.
presser,
Um,
presser.
Granted, who's fast enough that they care about Sticky Web on this team? It's Mudsdale and Empoleon and
The only Pokemon
Goodra.
that does is a Flying type.
Yeah. So that yeah, no reason to rapid spin it away. The knockoff was a great idea. Grimmsnarl.
Dead on that.
That's the last light screen. And then yep.
White Herb. No.
Flash Cannon does
Oh.
pretty good damage. And not gonna be enough. Oh, the flinch.
Could have got go Mudsdale. Gotta. I still think this thing does a job. That
Gotta keep it around.
that you go it because I mean, what is he revealed on Porygon? Does he have Thunderbolt sitting on it? He does. I guess he would need to get a physical download, but I'm pretty sure physical download isn't killing that thing at what? It might at 30.
Hmm.
Just Thunderbolt.
Yeah. Rock slide kills. Goes in the Braviary. And yeah, there's the vacuum wave. That's great.
Go to Mudsdale.
And sacks for some momentum. But the problem is Heracross is outspeeding you and now has Moxie. But he lives because Mudsdale's huge.
Yeah,
And
but
then you
like
get
from
the
here, what do you have left? You have triple weak to Ice Beam with no damage.
yeah, and Porygon's gonna recover. Wow, great Yachi Berry.
Oh, this was named Torrent. I thought it was talking about the ability Torrent. I'm like, who has that?
Acid armor. Oh, he's trying to body press. I mean, that's pretty good damage, but you gotta. I hope that's not a roll. Oh, you got leftovers.
Good protect.
No
Oh, and
crit, no freeze.
oh man. All right, we got to count that
So
one.
I forget who wins, but that's pretty interesting because now you're in kind of a 50-50. Well, I guess it's not a 50-50. It's they have to go for recover, right?
What is this
Yeah, it's gonna do
Porygon
too much
2? Oh
damage.
my god, I can't see this for crap. 28 defense. Modest, so that's it.
Body press plus. I think it's a +3.
He's times 3 is 4 stages. I didn't do Austin's
Oh, I see what
EVs
you're
though.
saying. Oh yeah, that's right, because it's through 6.
96. How does that make sense?
Um, I don't know. I'd have to take a look.
128 defense.
Two.
Am I missing something?
Why isn't it showing +4? Not a Terra. +4. That's a good question. Oh, Eviolite is off. No, no, you already have that gone.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. What a mystery. It did
97. What is going on? Doesn't have an item. But has assault vest, but it
no
doesn't.
HP? No, but it would just be higher then. It would be doing less damage. Defense. Udra +4, 96.
Something is not adding up right. It's
Yeah.
like it's not weak to it.
Normal. You didn't click the Terra button. That's not a problem. The levels are good.
Oh, light skin and reflector still up. Yeah, so 30%, so gets kind of a lower roll,
Oh, I see.
but it
Yep.
is a roll to kill.
And is slower. And then Serena gets. Yeah, that's it. Oh,
Yeah. And yet
that's
again,
painful.
they've been pouring on too.
It was a roll. Holy cow. Wow. It's a great pick.
I hate this Pokemon. All
Ooh,
right. So now we're on to
yeah.
yours. So
Yeah, I
walk me
prepped
through your
like
thought process.
yeah, I prepped like heck for this. Um because I just couldn't Klefki kills me. It just anytime I think about like setting up a sweeper in the back or anything, I just get worried constantly about getting T waved. So it just like it took it I thought about it the whole time. Lost all of my mock battles to Matt, who was playing like his first couple of teams, and I could not figure out what was going on. Uh, and I was having trouble just like having one finding a good Pokemon to start out with, and two just like finding a way to deal with the Klefki and kind of the Diancie. Um, I ended up focusing on one some speed control to allow my more tanky Pokemon to go first and take a hit and deal some big damage. Two, I knew I looked at this team and Crook went pretty crazy.
Yes.
Earthquake, knockoff, and I can't remember what else I had on it. I originally had scale shot and a life orb, but I was like, man, I'm losing too much like trying to set up when I could just go, and Crook already snowballs on its own. So ended up just focusing on the earthquake and knockoff and threw a scarf on it. But I think the big thing that really came together for me was figuring out that steel does pretty good against this team, and
Yes.
I had steel Terra Muck, um, which you'll see did pretty good against the Diancie. It deals with any toxic spikes that could have came out. I think there's a Pokemon that could do toxic spikes, and it also handles some of the things like the Zebstrika and the Inteleon, which are like pretty fast, powerful special attackers. Um, with the Assault Vest, it would handle it, and then finally for the Klefki, say I get say I get freaking Thunderwaved. I don't really care. I'm a slow muck. I can brick break and I can take care of screens and I can knock off or uh, I don't think it gets Earthquake, but Iron Head back for decent damage. Fire Punch, I think maybe. Um, so
So
yeah, that was the idea. Get let Crook cook.
he's got the Muck's got the poison touch, doesn't he? Doesn't he have like the 50% chance to poison on poison jab?
I think it's like 60. It's pretty good.
I don't know if poison
Uh,
jab's 20 or 30. I never remember.
yeah, Poison Jab's 30. Sludge Bomb is 10,
Sludge bomb
something
is
like that.
30. Sludge wave is 10.
Sludge Wave is 10. So yeah, it's 30, I believe. So yeah, pretty good chance to poison if Muck's going there. But the big check was against Diancie, which I didn't have a ton of other answers for.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always worried about seeing the Zeus get loose, man. That mon, if it gets
Oh, that gave me
toxic
a heart
boosted,
attack. Yep.
um, other than that, I mean, watching out Inteleon can go kind of crazy. if it can get some
Yeah.
lucky crits, if it can get momentum going.
Yep.
I mean, you do
So
have the Galv can check it, and I mean, I don't know what Inteleon does to Blastoise, but even here, I feel like this is pretty decent for you for a start, kind of what you want to see.
yeah, this is where Galvantula I think excels because you can get off the Thunder Wave, and then there's a little bit of hacks involved. So after that, maybe you get the Sticky Web, maybe you get an extra attack or two off. Um, Here I get Rock Tombed, which is fine because I'll win the speed tie, and then get the webs up, which is nice. And I don't see a spinner, maybe a defog on the other side. And I'm happy sacking the Galvantula at that point.
So that
Uh, so there, I was worried about superpower. So I was trying to scout out for superpower, and I was like, okay, well he's not gonna be able to do too much to the Moltres, I don't think. And then I was like, wait a minute, he has Rock Tomb.
I was gonna say that's on like that was a really interesting choice because if you had just decided to do that and he had pressed like Rock Tomb again, I'm
I
pretty
would have
sure
carried
this
for the
is
Moltres.
a bulky a Drudigan after all, but like for attack, I don't know if that would have killed. I don't know how what your defensive spread was.
It was a defensive Moltres with a little bit of, or maybe it was HP and like I think it was full
HP
HP, half
defense.
attack, half
Yeah.
defense. Yeah,
248, 156 defense, 104 special attack.
yeah, that sounds right. What I wanted to do is hit those, maybe like switch in on a Zigzagoon first turn and get a flame body off or something. Um, get a burn with the flame body and just like check some of these more physical Pokemon.
Go for it. Oh, he's pressing
Just
Rock
like
Tomb.
get the heck out of
He's
there.
pressing
And I
Rock
knew
Tomb
Rock
again.
Doom's happening,
Oh,
but he was paralyzed. And Arbalava actually hits a Leech Seed, which I couldn't believe. There's the defog, but
yeah, that's
I'm
unfortunate.
so excited to see this thing at low health that I just keep slapping buttons.
Come in and just try and do its work now. Yep.
And yeah, this was super scary. And I was like, okay, I'll try and get a flame body off if he attacks, and he swords dances, and I'm like, all right, well, that's
There you
that's
go.
just it. Luckily, I went for the. I almost put brick break on this thing, and that would have been game, I think, if I did that instead. But the close combat was incredibly clutch.
So it is Scarf. That's why I'm like, you have to be Scarf, surely.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about quick attack, but he still would have lived.
Yeah, there's.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that was also scarfed. I'm like, why would he bother scarfing? He's faster than my entire team. And yeah, he was scarfed.
Got a Scarf to outspeed the Scarfers.
Yeah, and I spec that Crocodile to have one more speed than max unscarfed Inteleon. Give it a little bulk. Yeah, so our Balavo's happy to chill there.
That's
Get some
really
good
good.
damage off.
So why Hyper Voice there? Just most damaging move?
I was worried about Sap Sipper,
Ah,
Zebstrika.
yeah.
So I was like, all right, that's pretty neutral coverage. If he brings in the Diancie, I know what to do after that. Um, and I was kind of worried here because I only had 3 Mons, but he actually it's kind of a pretty decent core assault vest, 2 assault vests, and then Arbalava is just crazy with the harvest citrus berries and stall capabilities.
Yeah, now that you say that, that would have been crazy if like open into Galvantula and pivots into the motor drive Zebstrika.
Oh yeah, that's
And then
super terrifying.
oh man, that's some sauce right there.
Yep.
Get the freeze.
So there's nothing he
Oh, he
does unless he
does.
freezes, and he freezes, but then I
Yeah,
also get lucky, and I can get him out of there.
the baits, man.
And
Oh
so
no.
that was pretty lucky for both of us. But flipped him out of there, and then
Yeah, I'm
I knew
always
I
a
could
big
hit
fan of
something.
Flash Cannon on the Blastoise. I love Flash Cannon Blastoise. I really do.
It's really good. I've just been like, I don't know, the physical sets have felt very good as a utility Pokemon on Blastoise this season.
I definitely think the physical. If you're not going for damage, like the physical sets look better. Like Dragon Tail, Rapid Spin, Flip Turn, like
Fake
Toxic
out.
Knock. Yeah, Fake Out has been cool to watch. Kill this thing with the Terra Steel now.
Yep.
Damn.
Maka's decent attack. It's like over 100. There's that
I,
Muck
w-
going crazy.
I wonder why Shadow Ball there instead of just a snipe shot.
Uh, I guess was predicting like, oh,
Blastoise
the
coming in again.
Blastoise switch in is for Inteleon. So yeah, try to get a Spadef drop or something. And then I figure I'm getting
Just
Earthquaked or something here, but yeah, and
yeah,
that's fine
it
because
doesn't matter at this point.
the Zeb Strike is still concerning, because it's not going to be choiced and it's got both fire and electric coverage, but our ball was a absolute monster and heals up. Sometimes, man, you can proc a double citrus berry on a single heal, and it's just wild.
Oh, I ran a Sunny Day Harvest Citrus Berry Propius set in the
That's so great.
in the first season, and the one guy just life orbed himself to death because he couldn't break it. So it was just like synthesis, sunny like rotating Sunny Day synthesis, synthesis, harvest, like random attack move into the three of them. Like it
Oh
was so
my god.
toxic.
Yeah, that's like the Ranbat special.
But I thought that was good. The Arbala was definitely one of the sleeper mons from Gen 9. Doesn't get enough love.
Yeah, I think people see grass normal and they just kind of turn their nose up to it and they're like, oh, another early water type. But it's got some stuff.
I'm a big fan. Strength Sap, Earth Power sets, Terra Fire's pretty good on it. Terra Fairy's also good.
125 special attack. Nothing to sneeze at.
That's grassy terrain on switch in. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I
so good.
gotta I would have brought that, but I was thinking about Crook and Earthquake, and that's not a very good combination.
I think Magnitude's illegal, but I want to see someone use Magnitude.
Incredible.
So
All right, so this is your match.
I had some sauce cooked up for this I didn't get to use. I was a little upset, and I'm actually glad I didn't use it because after I finished this game, so where was it? It was kind of early, I believe. I just went for the nonsense.
You just went straight
I
for
just
the
went
nonsense.
straight for the nonsense. Belly drum. Let's try and get some quick draws, all right? And I did this, and then belly drummed into psychic, and I'm like, I don't even know what I was thinking on that. I could have just been pressing psychic to begin with, but I guess I
Yeah,
figure let's just go for the belly drum and get it done on a mon we know we can, and hope we get the quick draws on the rest.
yeah. What else is on this? Shell side arm. I mean, that's not gonna work very well against Tentacruel.
And ice punch, which is also going to do nothing.
Yeah, I guess you're just trying to break through. And like, what's Tentacruel gonna do to you? Knock off,
That
perhaps.
that's
But
the worst. If he had gone first and knocked off, I would have been screwed.
yeah,
But he doesn't
but
have
quick
anything to
draw,
really
quick
hit me,
claw. Yeah,
so we get the psychic.
that is a sick shiny. That is such a good shiny. You don't need an agility here, actually.
Yeah, I would have
You
just
can
liked like high horsepower earthquake just to
just
get the kill. Even just flare blitz would have just smacked at that point.
yeah, just to get some momentum back or something.
I think this has like 1,000 attack at what it's at. I was really
Uh,
upset that it lived, but then he exploded.
Very cool, but crazy that didn't kill. I don't know if was that invested in attack at all.
His had 4 attack, but mine was actually invested.
Ah,
Oh, mine was invested in defense actually.
okay.
Mine was
So that's why I lived a little bit.
max. Oh no, special defense. Sorry, max HP, max special defense. So the HP definitely held it on. I had
Yeah,
nothing invested into attack on the
yeah.
belly drum set. Yes, I know.
Great mixed attacker.
And there's the quick draw.
Quick draw, quick claw. And yeah, you're gonna.
Get
There's
cooked on
kill.
that one.
Dark, Terra Dark to make yourself weak to the fairy type, I guess.
I think. Why did he do that? Where they were talking about potential like being immune to psychic moves
Okay.
if they thought,
I
but
guess
then
like
yeah, just get it all back.
yeah, and that's a wrap at that point.
Yeah, he's gonna come in. He can hit me unless he crits. Oh, the Kebia berry! I
Yeah,
forgot I had
the
that.
incredible. That's great. It's kind of insult to injury at that point, though.
But that's what I was afraid of. I was afraid of the Haunter, the Tentacruel, and the Venusaur all had really good poison moves. And even like Wheezing, that I'm like, I have to put a poison resist on this that if I set up, like, I get one setup turn at least.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
I
bad.
had a Rain Dance, Regenerator, Slow King with a
Oh
Swift
boy.
Swim, Swords Dance, Quillfish.
Okay,
That
that's a lot of
was
fun.
gonna be cool. But then I realized that I had Chilly Reception on the Slow King.
Oh,
So the
okay. So
plan,
you wanted to get that
yeah,
momentum.
the plan originally, I was like, oh, this is genius. I'll rain dance and I'll just Chilly Reception out. And then after, I'm like, I'm really glad I didn't do that and set rain and then immediately just changed to snow.
Like, what is going? Is this guy
I
playing mind games with me?
I would have just FF'd at that point. I would have been like, this ain't even worth finishing. He can have it.
He can just have it. He deserves it. Well, great job. Big
Yeah,
5-0.
I stole John's nickname, put my own spin on it.
Oh yeah,
Instead of no
all
cream, he's
cream.
all cream, no sugar.
That's great. All
We
right.
had one of our old rivalry
Oh yeah,
matches. Yeah, these are some of the OG gang. So
got it.
I know
Love the Wichita Wiglets as a name. That's a lot of
that's
fun.
goaded. He still stands by that Wiglet and Wugtrio are good Pokemon, so we're all
That's
entitled to opinions.
that's bold, but he beat my butt today, so I'll respect his opinion.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I haven't
Oh
seen
yeah,
any Week 5 games.
that's next week. It didn't happen yet. It's my bad.
Um, I do know he
So
said he liked the Namorous because or I'm sorry, Mega Sceptile's a dragon. That just looking at it, he had like 4 dragons on his roster. That he's like, what does he do to this?
yeah, I'm not sure. One thing that's questionable on Jason's side is the Typhlosion. I guess it's like decent against the Sceptile and the uh Snow. What's her name?
Frostless.
The Frostlass, but you're not doing much. Usually, when I see a Typhlosion, I'm expecting like big hit momentum, scarf eruption, kind of go to town, and yeah, you don't have a lot of opportunity for that against Aggron and 2 dragons, and a pretty defensive probably Uxie.
I mean, he has been running Focus Blast, so that'll at least check the Aggron if he's not choice locked.
Yep,
But
if we hit.
I do agree. There was, I believe, a turn in this game we'll get to that I'm like, oh, he just presses eruption, it's free, and then he didn't. So get in, just
So
go.
that's a classic leading with one of the legendary lake trio. That's classic. Unfortunate Thunderwave miss.
I'm so sympathetic for Dylan. This man has had the worst luck all season.
Has he?
He has missed, I think, the most moves out of anybody. Has been hit by arguably the most crits.
Oh my gosh, this poor guy.
The the,
That's terrible.
the gods are not in his favor. So
That's a nice para.
he does get that, which is good on a setup mon. Yep,
And
go for another.
it's not like Jason got a lot out of that Lapras being in or anything. Anyways, it was a quick switch out. I guess identified it as a sweeper for the back or something. It was like I'm not ready to let this thing get slowed down.
I don't know what his Terra is on it for this week. Was it?
I
Oh,
think he likes to run electric on it because it's such a layup to do. Just like hit Lapras with an electric move, and then it's like, oh, gotcha.
yeah. Terra Electric. So I guess he likes it. You could just come in on Haxorus and Sceptile and start pressuring
Yep,
them with your ice moves. I mean, Aggron. Then you resist at least the steel moves.
yep.
I wish he would
You
have nasty
outspeed it.
plotted a second time.
Yeah, it's defensive. You've got some speed control, and you've got leftovers. It makes sense to me. And draining kiss. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. That was a pretty strong position. And what are you worried about getting destroyed by? Jellicent?
That's what it was. I wanted him to eruption on that because he he wasn't Scarf. He was Specs. But
Either way, I mean, it wouldn't have done it, but
he's
I
definitely
mean, that would have been
definitely runs outspeeds the Uxie. That you just eruption there and then like what's coming
it's
in to
just
check you.
yeah, it's
Like
just good damage. You can swap out to your Jellicent and find an opportunity to get back in there. I mean, the Fire Blast worked out well, but it doesn't always work out well.
I know hitting back to back Fire Blast is crazy. I agree.
Yeah.
And now you got to get the hell out of there.
He
No,
stays it. Tries to get the burn, perhaps.
and
I mean,
deleted.
it's good damage on something very threatening.
This is why I always like having Terra Fairy as an option on Mons.
Oh yeah.
Because just being able to send something in on an outrage and just get a free turn, like they can't switch, they can't press another move, they have to press that. You just do whatever you want for one, maybe two turns. But instead,
Yeah.
you do have to eat this. And Jellicent's a bulky mon, that's crazy damage, but you get the kill on it, that's one big threat gone.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a lot of the big threats, right? Sceptile, I guess, is what I'm worried about at this point, or if the Uxie starts nasty plotting.
I would have liked to see Sceptile come in here. He does have the Giga Drain that you could just come in and Giga Drain on this, kill it.
Yeah,
Like that's
and
one free
then
kill. Like you lose a little bit of health, get it back.
yeah,
I don't know if you
but
go.
what else what else are you using the Sceptile for that you need to keep it alive anyways? You could maybe get some big damage off against something, sack it, and then leave the rest of your team to go to town.
Yeah, and even Uxie, like Uxie can do something potentially, but at 42%, like it's not coming back out and nasty plotting again. And then yeah, that basically is just
That's tough.
nail in the
Right.
coffin for it.
Speaking of Terra Fairy, oh, that's rough, especially when your big damage here is Brave Bird.
Yeah,
And yeah,
cover again. I guess just in case for Switch, he knows that he has an extra turn. And oh boy,
we got a match here. We got a stall war. I mean, you got natural cure. Maybe you wait until a
yeah, he's Cloud 9.
oh, it's Cloud 9. Oh, why did I think it was natural cure? Eh, never mind. Oh, this is content right here.
Yeah, this is there's not a lot to say about what's going on, unfortunately.
And there's the Sceptile switch on the Hex, which a lot better. Is this a physical or a special set? It's a special set, so you don't really care about the burn. I think this should have happened,
and
like you said, a while ago.
and then Giga Drain gets disabled. So you have to go.
And
Oh,
this, I couldn't believe he was running Energy Ball and Giga Drain.
I didn't
That
even
is,
notice that on his sheets.
I thought he would have been like out of option, like would have had to go for, I don't know,
Dragon
whatever
Pulse
else
and Hope it
Sceptile has.
Krills.
Yeah, yeah. And there's the Terra Electric Classic and Lapras is bulky.
I think you switch there. You gotta switch out and keep this alive. This still can do so much work. It outspeeds everything, unless stuff is scarfed.
Yeah, Dragon Pulse could do pretty big damage against Braviary, and then maybe Frostlass could finish both of them off. Yeah, I guess you switch into Uxie there, or maybe sack the Altaria even.
Altari's not doing anything.
Yeah,
It's already burned.
you needed a either super effective or oh, there's the Destiny
It's
Bond.
so good, man.
Yeah, that's good. That's pretty good.
And like that, so if he had played it like that, like sacked the Altaria, kept the
And then
Sceptile, and then done that, and you have, or even if you, I don't know, that's a lot of sacking, because then you're stuck with 42% Uxie and Sceptile into these two.
yeah, I guess you try and maybe get like a para off. Hope for a little bit of hacks, but I think Sceptile would have to finish it up.
Faster.
It's bulky. That is a bulky Bravey. Oh, that U-turn. Yeah, that just mows through the team. I guess the Altaria doesn't have to worry about that, but you're also not killing anything right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meloetta comes in, presses. I'm excited to see. I'm glad he switched and got this mon. I think this is interesting mon. I forget what he dropped for this.
Yeah,
I think it was
it's
the Espeon that he switched out for it.
quite good, and that makes sense. I think Magic Bounce is a little, you know it's coming, and I think you can prepare for it pretty easy. There's just some mind games involved, but um, I mean, this Meloetta is like kind of a pseudo legendary, or I mean, it's a legendary, so it's got stats, it's got coverage.
I still have no idea how to use its freaking form change thing. It's something about like using its signature move or something like that, and it switches.
Yeah, it becomes a normal fighting type and gets like attack instead of special attack, which is makes it like a weird mixed attacker, but you don't want
It's
to
like a
go
Walmart
special.
Genesect.
Yeah, I think same generation too, right?
I believe so. They're both the event Pokemon from Gen 5.
Black and white. Yep. All right. Well,
Jason continuing his tear.
yep.
This game. Okay, so this is the last one. I was excited for this one because I think they both had a point to prove. They both had a rough start to the season. Will had picked up a win earlier already. Caleb still had not.
Yep.
Looking at the teams, my man already handicapped himself bringing Galissapod. So
Calcified.
and Mawile.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's kind of rough. I mean, you get some nice intimidates off maybe against. You could maybe calm down a Minior that's going nuts or a Crawdont.
I'm gonna tell
That's
you something about Caleb. That man don't use intimidate on Mawile.
he doesn't use intimidate on
It's not
Mawile.
happening. It's gonna be sheer force 100% of the time.
Okay.
And
Oh,
watch,
then.
I'm gonna say that, and when I play him tonight, he's gonna bring intimidate on it, and I'm gonna lose my mind.
Oh, the mind games.
This
Um,
He is a very good player, but he is definitely a player that is set in his ways.
yeah. Um, hey, I respect it a lot. He's got some good mons here. I had Primarina on my list of draft picks for number one. I mean, with that, you can wall break, you can tank. Water fairies are really good typing. There's not a lot on this team that breaks through that. I don't think, other than Kilowattrel. So he's definitely got to keep that Kilowattrel alive, I think.
I had talked to a couple people about like mock boards, and they were like talking about rounding out their teams and different ideas to put in it. And there was at least like four people that had Primarina in like their second, third round picks.
Oh yeah,
I believe
yeah,
he took it in his first. I thought. Oh, it is a tier one. Yes, so of course he did. Yes.
yeah, yeah. It was, I think it was also my like. I think I wanted Hisuian Gudra number two, and then Primarina number three. But I got my Crook, which I'm very pleased about.
Well, that's what. It's really funny. So originally, Moltres and Garg were my first two picks, right? But I
Oh
was like,
wow.
I'm gonna go for some snow comp and have some fun. So I took the Slow King for Chilly Reception. And now that
Oh.
I switched my team to what it was, I'm like, I should have just taken the fucking Moltres. My team would be so much better if I just had the Moltres.
I'm sorry. I like it too much.
Nah, do
It
you, man? You're cooking. I love to
compliments
see it.
everything.
I got my man team. I got my flying type, my defogger, and some other mons. So yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, yeah,
I think in this, what I really want to see is I just want to see Galissapod open up in just first impression. It's the special. If you're bringing Galissapod, it's what you do every single time. You open the game, swinging.
You give you give the game a first impression.
Exactly.
Okay, I like it. I mean, did, uh, who do you like first impressioning? Basically, Crawdont. Blaziken and Kilowattrel are pretty frail, so they'd take decent damage from it, even though they might resist it. But
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's not a good move. It's what you do. It's the obligatory Galissapod strategy. Is just open with it. Either, I mean, realistically, Skeledirge is a pretty good open. Like, unless he goes Crawdaunt, what are you afraid of? I guess like
yeah,
potential like Shell Smash Minior and then just going crazy. But I mean, you don't really though if you're unaware.
yeah, and Skeledirge is so tanky that like, especially like physically, that you're probably not worried about that. Hisui and Gudra could be packing like what Earth Power, but then you might have Earth Power.
Earthquake, knockoff, Earth
Yeah,
Power.
I think Dirge does pretty well here, and I don't see an obvious like lead setter or hazard setter or anything like that that would go first.
I did have one major takeaway for Will
Yeah,
on one of these. Yep, so lead it.
great move. Fold switch, momentum goes into Minior, and that Minior is gonna take some damage. And now you can't smash.
This That was crazy. That was so good. The Terra Fire after just getting hit by a Stone Edge, like I don't know what the roll is on that Stone Edge, but Terra Fire on the acrobatics read so that you take normal and survive instead of being weak to the like that's so good.
Yeah, that's huge, and now you can start to build up a couple of stats.
Oh, he's 1,000% just gonna die. Was it superpower?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like you're gonna live anything because you're Lorantis, but oh,
Yeah.
no leftovers or anything as well. So now you're gonna get wrecked by Aquajet. Now your first impression. Nope.
He's
Coatl.
like that is so much damage
Is that banded?
for sure.
Yeah. And that's great because this Coatl could I think do some good damage. Great sucker punch. I
Cheeky sucker punch, man.
Yeah. I mean, forget about the intimidate. He knows something I don't.
The life orb. It just
Yeah.
trading kills. This game was.
Aggressive.
I was actually sitting here. I'm like, this guy didn't go speed boost, and you can't. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So
He's going to. He switches out. Goes for.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
So
no
sad.
damage at all.
Rain boosted Aquajet has to gets kicked out of the battle. That was a great emergency exit though. You get
Just
oh my god, that
yeah,
tears him up.
the sharpness stab choice band. It's just
All
so
the multipliers.
stupid, man.
Yeah, you really gotta abuse those multipliers.
The
Pre-marina.
hurricane's
Yeah.
good, and this is where my note was this play right here, right? U-turn's fine, but this thing gets freeze dry.
Oh yeah, you gotta be packing freeze dry. It is. There's so many surprising Pokemon you just ruin with them, like
Both
those
of them are
water
weak to it.
dragons. Um,
Water ground.
Water ground. It's like, oh, I'm not weak to anything. Oh, okay, I'm 4 times weak to this ice move. That's great.
Fuck Ogre Pond Wellspring. All my homies freeze
Yeah,
dry that Pokemon.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Goodra. I'm already. He's. Yeah, it feels like he's got to get the Gallade in here to. Oh my god, that's great. I love it.
He had told me that what is it? He had flip turn on it that he was trying to get out for momentum, but he was
Yeah,
faster than everything. So he wasn't
yeah,
trying to take damage. He's like, well, shit. I guess I'm just gonna explode.
yeah. Like you get a free switch in, and now you're looking really good with your Gallade, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to get hurricaned by that Articuno, but you're not worried about an Aquajet. Man, I wonder if a Sash could have done that Crawdaunt good.
And yeah,
Oh, there's the hurt. I mean, it's not like you're getting through Skeledirge anyways.
yeah. You'd have to hit the hurricane, hit the confuse, and then he gets confused the whole time. And then even still, he didn't even have
Still
first
rough.
impression. He had sucker punch.
Oh, wow, what a shame.
So life orb sucker punch with max attack Golisopod would have killed anyways.
Yeah,
But that's all of our games. We go to the standings.
great
We
week.
have. I thought I changed that. Hey yo. Hey yo.
Spoilers.
Mez.
Well, that is a couple of people playing pretty early in the week, and it
All right.
feels like everybody snuck it in at the end of last week.
So now, like I said, now we go to the standings.
Whoa! Oh my God, I'm undefeated.
We had, sorry, keyboard.
Very good. So, do you guys normally do this kind of amount of people, this breakdown for playoffs?
No, so last season we had 16, and we
Okay.
did
Wow.
4 with the first round by 12 people total.
Got it.
So, um,
Okay.
we had talked about doing 12-person playoffs again,
Yeah.
but I think for the just for the sake of moving it along, we went with the traditional 8-person playoffs.
Got it. So what record do you envision kind of being on the borderline between in and out of the playoffs?
So I made a mock season, right? With what I truly and honestly thought results of games were going to be. It's not gone exactly to plan. We'll say it nicely. Um,
Yeah.
but on the mock season, I think two people had gotten in at 3 and 5.
Okay.
That was people at the top had a lot of wins, which is kind of happening right now. It's not exactly the same people, but for the most part, like the records themselves are on trend with how I had them. It's just not the same people.
Sure, sure. Okay. So, anywhere around like an even record, and you might start to feel comfortable about the playoffs. You're
I
thinking.
I think 4-4. If you hit 4 wins, you're pretty much safe. Especially at this point, two people are 0-4. Um,
Yeah.
do they play each other? Because if Austin and Mike play each other, that's one playoff spot gone. They do not.
Okay.
But like, I mean, for Austin, that's a tough run. Like, of 4 games there.
Yeah. They
Dylan's
started
gonna
out with a tough run. Phil, John, Jason, Noah. That's. I mean, according to the records, I think that's the he's getting into the easier part of the season.
in theory.
In theory, yeah. Matchups,
I
it's
I
all
know he
fun stuff.
wasn't particularly thrilled for his first two opponents. Um,
Yeah.
but this one is the one that I did completely random. Last season, we took a long time and made a schedule based on estimated and like past performances of players, like estimated strength. So people who we thought were very, very good, had done well before, were put
Yeah.
into one bracket. Players who were like, knew what they were doing, but not necessarily on that same level were in the middle. And then we had like the newcomers. So while you still play a couple people from the other tiers, most of your games were from within your own bracket.
I feel like that feels nice if you're in the lower bracket during the season, but then you get to the playoffs against would both brackets play each other in the playoffs?
Yes, so we did actually have some upsets though. So we did have
Oh,
some
that's great.
people who were newer.
Okay.
Um, in fact, one of the people, Austin's wife, played with us last season and was put
Oh,
in the newer because we knew she played, but we didn't know how good she was, and she ended up making grand finals.
get out of here.
She beat John and Caleb on the way. I forget who she played in the first round of
Yeah.
playoffs. I think it was what, 4 rounds. I forget who she played round one, and then she beat Caleb, and then she beat John, and then she had to play me. And unfortunately, I killed the dream. So sorry to the people.
Ah, well, still incredible, and congrats to them.
Oh, she had me nervous as shit.
Oh
After she beat both of them, and I'm like, fuck,
boy.
man, I'm gonna lose this game. Are we kidding me?
Yeah, that'll do it.
So I think that way was cool. It definitely helped some people, especially newer, like get caught up with speed. And if they're watching replays and looking at the team sheets and sets and following along, it kind of helps them educate as well, like see what the better players are doing against each other.
Yeah,
I don't want to say better. The more experienced players are doing against each other, like what type of sets are they
sure.
bringing? How are they setting up? Like where are they setting up on? Like their pivots and stuff like that.
Yep.
Having team sheets, I definitely think has helped a lot. I
Mhm.
think doing the VOD review has helped people to kind of fine tune and see, get some different perspectives. Where sometimes we're watching it in hindsight, and it's really easy to go and look at something and be like, oh, like this would have
Oh,
made sense there. But when you're
100.
actually playing,
When your heart's beating like crazy and you're
yeah,
you're getting tunnel vision and you're like, "Oh my god, I've
so
lost,"
it's
because
not
you
just
lost your
me
first
good
Pokemon.
because I'm sitting here, we're doing this thing is for purely for fun, just casual, and like some of these games, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah, you got that right. Oh my god. Yes.
But I think at 4 wins, everyone, like if you get to 4, I think you should expect to be safe. Um, obviously rack up as much as you can. Differential for sure matters.
Yeah.
You want to be in the top 4 because the top 4 pick their opponents in playoff.
Yep. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you go
I remember. Okay.
down the order. So number 1 will have their pick between 5 through 8, then 2, then 3, and 4 will play whoever the last person is available. So instead of doing the normal 1-8, 2-7, and on, like whoever number 1 is, like if the season ended today, Jason could pick Tyler and try and get the 5 seed out right off the bat if he felt confident, or if he feels that he has a better matchup against Noah or John than he does against Kellen, he could pick any of those 4.
Sure. Okay. Well, that's great. Okay. Exciting.
So I've seen that done in a couple other draft leagues, so I'm like, well, let's try it in this one. This will be a fun one to try it out in. kind of keep
Yeah.
things fresh, not just do the same format with the same mons. Like I'm trying to change it up every time. I don't want to just keep rolling a same one, like a similar league with the same draft with the same people.
Yeah.
That if we're doing this, there's genuinely a reason for it.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
MVP race that
Yeah, the Porygon knocked my Swallow out. It's so exciting.
yeah, the spoilers, but the Swellow finally died. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I
He was
uh,
streaming it and I was watching it. And when it was Swellow versus his last three, I was sitting there and I was already about to update 3 kills and just kill all of his mons on the stat sheet. And then he lived, the AV saved him. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my
man,
god.
I feel like I'm not gonna pack the I shouldn't say it on video because somebody will scoop it up and predict it, but or maybe I'll play mind games. But the Terra Electric still just does not do as much as a boom burst unless it's like 4 times effective.
Yeah.
That the Terra normal boom burst is just is it's nuts. I think I would have killed with that.
Oh, for sure. But if you, because Terra Electric wasn't resisting anything at that point, right? So if you had just been Terra normal pressing Boom Burst, you did just clean up.
Yeah, but I was like, and the whole time I was playing mind games, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get that he's gonna Terra Electric on the Lapras, so I have to wait and yeah, we'll see that game next week when it happens in the future.
For sure, for sure. I'm trying to play mine tonight, so we'll have 4 of our games done already.
Wow. Well, good
Uh,
luck.
I appreciate it. Any other closing thoughts moving to week 5?
Just a shout out to Matt for going 3-1 with a almost entirely bug team,
Look,
and
I'm tired of people acting like this team is bad, dude. He's got Cleavor, Low Kicks, Araquanid, and Fortress. Those are 4 busted Pokemon.
oh, they're he drafted well, but I mean they're definitely bugs. It's definitely a weak defensive type. Nidoqueen, queen of the bugs. It's incredible Terra for Nidoqueen, which is crazy, and she kind of looks like a bug.
It's kind of
Um,
funny how it's good at resist ground, neutral
yeah,
to ice and water. Man, that's stupid.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Uh,
So
all
thanks
right
for the
then.
shout out.
Bid the people adieu.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Of course, man.